Hello, and welcome to Azril Ontology. Today, we'll be covering the Affliction Warlock. Now, Affliction Warlocks have been nudged in a direction I believe I'd like to call the King of Dots. And what do I mean by the King of Dots? Well, I always saw Affliction Warlocks as the original dot class. You say dot class, bam, I think Affliction Warlock. I don't think Shadow Priest, I don't think Moon King. Yes, they do have dots, but I'm glad that Affliction Warlocks have found themselves a comfortable place, and that's keeping up dots and filling in the gaps in between, and I find that to be okay. Let's get down to it. Here are my talents. I've taken Rife and Agony. Even though there are a few other choices here, I believe Drain Soul to be more for adds, due to its nature of you obtaining a shard when they die. Haunt, however, I believe if you just want more single target direct damage, then you go with Haunt. Now this row is kind of cool. I've taken Mana Tap, and Mana Tap is very strong. If utilized correctly, I believe Mana Tap to be, if anything, overpowered. Absolute Corruption, I'm not so sure. I believe there are some uses to this, and it could be a numerous amount of things, maybe AoE or giving me single target, it can be cleave. There are many possibilities for Absolute Corruption. It just all comes down to tuning and what happens to Mana Tap and Contagion later on. Contagion, however, only increases your damage when you have Unstable Affliction on the target by 5%. Now, clear winner here is Mana Tap. Even though you will be spamming more Life Tap, I believe the 15% damage for 20 seconds makes that worthwhile. I've taken Soul Leech, doesn't really impact this test. Now this row, I'm not so sure. I believe Soul Harvest to be the default choice, and Soul of the Seeds is an AoE talent. But Siphon Life is, I'm not so sure about this. I believe the damage on Siphon Life isn't tuned correctly, and if it is to be the case where it is tuned up later on and it is actually quite powerful, I believe it's to be included in your arsenal of dots. But as for now, I've gone with Soul Harvest, and that's just purely on a whim. Do not quote me on this. Dark Pact over Demonic Circle and Burning Rush doesn't really impact this test. Now I've taken Supremacy. Why I believe Supremacy is the way to go is purely because of the Fell Hunter and its ability. Shadow Bite does 50% more damage for every dot. Now this is where I was inclined to think that Siphon Life would be the case, because this also does provide the damage bonus to Shadow Bite. But the reason I haven't taken Siphon Life is because of the playstyle I'm about to show you, where you have a lot to maintain. Yes, I could fit it in, but I'll show you what it looks like without, just for testing purposes and speculation. Grimoire Service and Sacrifice, they are somewhat known spells already, but Sacrifice has gone through a bit of a change. You just deal additional damage to enemies within 8 yards. Now, I'm not so sure about this. Again, damage numbers, this alpha, can't really expect it to be the case. But as for now, I've gone with Supremacy because I believe this is the Affliction correct choice. Now this row, it's a tough choice. I've taken Soul Effigy purely because of flavor and what I believe to be the true Affliction Warlock playstyle. And I actually don't mind it. It will require add-ons, it will require a lot of maintaining dots, a lot of things to keep track of. If you're not really up for that, then most likely Demonic Servitude is your way to go. This will just allow you to enslave your Doomguard and your Infernal as a permanent pet. Phantom Singularity, however, it looks more like an AoE talent. I don't mind AoE talents, but I'd at least expect them to be a bit more cooler. Like as you saw in my previous video, the Fire Mage had Meteor, which just looked amazing. it played amazing, and it felt amazing. So we've gone with Soul Effigy. Now Soul Effigy can only be on one target. You can only have one of these, and it is a buff. It will be under your portrait on your character. This could change later on, however. So let's get down to it. As you can see, I've moved my target frame, and I'm going to apply my Soul Effigy, and I'm just going to apply a focus on the Felguard due to not having any add-ons. And as you have seen, my artifact has procced my Tormented Soul. Now if I was to kill my Tormented Soul, let's wait for it to die, I will then proc my Deadwind Harvester. And there you go. Anyways, so there is my Effigy, there is my Felguard. Now this Felguard, whatever damage this Effigy takes, 50% of it will go to the Felguard. So what we're going to do is start off, let's apply our dots, get our pet in there, and then apply our dots here. Now I've spawned one of my artifact pets already. Now as you can see, dots don't exactly last that long. It's actually quite shocking how short dots really last. And due to the nature of that, you kind of want to utilize the pandemic effect as much as possible. There will always be a threshold for you to refresh your agony or your corruption or your unstable affliction. Like this applies to all dots in the game. Obviously I'm supposed to be keeping up my mana tap, and let's do that. Just gonna deal with my spirit in a moment. Just gonna apply a dot to it. Now yes, if I was to play with Drain Soul, I could keep up my Drain Soul on my pet as it spawns, just to give me additional shards. But as you can see, I'm doing quite an easy job of keeping up shards. I can keep Unstable Affliction up on 2 targets, and this is pretty much Affliction Warlocks. Now it doesn't look that fun, but I'm pretty sure with add-ons and 100% optimization, because I'm obviously doing a horrible job of tracking 2 targets with dots, keeping up with my spirit, and keeping up with the pandemic on each. See, I'm just reapplying dots quite literally right now. And then yes, you can squeeze in a Drain Life, but it doesn't last that long squeezing in that Drain Life. And I've still yet to apply my Reap Soul, which I got from the artifact. And I'll show you what Reap Soul does. Oh wow, did I actually resist? Well, it seems my Reap Soul is actually not on the target. Well, there's Reap Soul. Again, it's just another dot, and it just does more damage over time. And this is pretty much Affliction Warlocks. Now, I actually personally don't mind this playstyle. Yes, it looks a bit weird, looks a bit clunky, but I believe later on the artifact power, set bonuses, talents, it will obviously make it a lot smoother, feel smoother, and play a lot better. Yes, I still have the Soul Harvest, and I didn't really use it in the fight. I could have actually played Siphon Life, but you know what, I thought let's just go with the Soul Harvest, just for argument's sake. Maybe with haste and more targets, I can start utilizing Soul Harvest more. But then again, if there are more targets, I believe Sow the Seeds to be the way to go. Now this is pretty much Affliction Warlocks, and pretty simple. Keep up dots, and keep up dots on Soul Effigy. Now I will quickly play with the playstyle of no Soul Effigy. So let's just get rid of that. Let's summon a Doom Guard, and this will pretty much be what I believe to be the playstyle of no Soul Effigy. So let's get started. Now you always mana tap before you life tap. You don't really want to do life tap then mana tap. Mana tap is percentage based of your current mana. Doesn't matter how much mana you have, it will take away 40% of that value. If you have 1000 mana, it's going to take away 400 mana. If you have 100,000 mana, it's going to take away 40,000 mana. So always mana tap, then life tap, and then play. And as for this Tormented Soul, I just believe 1 dot is enough. Don't put too much attention on it, because you don't want to waste DPS. You just want to keep on that target, just keep on it. And now let's put on our artifact dot. The artifact dot lasts quite a while. As you can see, the duration of the dot is the cooldown itself. And it's just pretty much keep up your dots and drain your target. Now, I honestly think the dot spec, the dot playstyle, sorry, was more fun. I actually enjoyed just like constantly battling with dots. That's kind of what I feel like Affliction Warlocks should be, a dot spec. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. This is Affliction Warlocks, and if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe for more. If you didn't, please say in the comment section below what I could improve and what you'd like to see in the future. Thank you and have a nice day.